Hello, everybody. This is Nick Newman with the Conscienticon, where we share practical, spiritual, occult wisdom. Okay, so just a disclaimer here. I am not a medical professional in any way, so any advice or tips or tricks you take from the Conscienticon and implement into your life, you implement at your own risk, okay? So let's go ahead and continue. I want to thank all the patrons that have been helping support the Conscienticon and all the future patrons to come. It's a great way to support this whole network. But let's go ahead and get into it. This series is going to be a how-to series. No bullshit. Quick to the point so you can implement and make major changes in your life. And like I said, you make these changes at your own risk. But I test out these things myself, and if they work, I share them. And that's pretty much what I'm hoping the whole community does with each other, okay? So today's episode is about how to dopamine detox effectively. A lot of people half-ass dopamine detoxes. That's why they don't work, okay? But let me go ahead and tell you a brief story about a problem I used to have, okay? So back in the day, I used to play a lot of video games. I used to get stoned all the time, play a lot of video games, and waste all kinds of time. And the thing is, that's totally okay. If you're the type of person that likes to do that, that is fine. However, if you're like me and you do that for a while, you'll sit and you'll have this creeping feeling inside you, this feeling of like, it's almost like guilt. It's almost like you can do better. And you proceed, and it becomes more and more painful, and you just ignore it. You know, if you're like me, then that's a sign that it's a problem. But I used to be really addicted to video games, and so I needed to get off of it because dopamine detoxing is about getting rid of the things that give you the most dopaminergic hits, basically, and then cutting those out. And so I used to be really addicted to the game Monster Hunter, really bad. I would play this game for probably 4 or 5 hours a day. I would not miss a day. I'd play online with people and all this stuff. And that game in particular, Japanese game, very effective at giving you this feeling of reward. You'd fight a boss over and over again. The boss itself would take maybe an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, just one boss. And then you'd hope to get a drop that would go to your armor and improve you. But it was random. And they randomized it for a reason, to make the game addictive. So I knew that. Now the problem was I was playing this game when I didn't have a job. I quit my factory job. I was a lead operator at a factory, and it was miserable. So I quit. I had enough money in my 401k to quit and try to navigate myself. And so I quit, and problematically, when you have several months of income to live off of, it can become really easy to just fuck off until the very last minute. And so that's what I did. And this fucking game killed me, dude. I was on this game so much. I should have been doing other things. But I knew I wanted to paint more. And if I wanted to paint more, this shit had to go. So it was that's my process of this dopamine detox, is I kicked the game. What I did is I shipped because I played on Nintendo 3DS. I'm not even cool. I wasn't playing on a console. I was playing on a fucking little Game Boy. But I shipped it to my family member and just gave it away. I gave her all the shit I had, and I couldn't play it anymore. And then I filled that time with painting. And I got pretty damn good at it, by the way. And I'll put some pictures up to show you. So this is the first step here is to write and identify, which means figure out the problem that you have. In my case, it was the Game Boy or the 3DS, okay? That was my problem. I was playing that way too damn much. It was the highest spiking dopaminergic thing I was doing. I knew I had to go. And then I had to write down how I was going to get rid of this, how I was going to get rid of this problem. In fact, it was so simple to me. I was just like, just remove it and we're done. You can't play it if you don't own it anymore. However, if the problem you have is more complex, you need to write it out. And so I took Jordan Peterson's future authoring program. And what that did was, this is what I learned from it. So you don't even have to take it if you don't want to. Although I do support his work. All it is a process in which you write down what your problems are or what your goals are. Then you go, How do I solve this problem? And what happens if I don't solve this problem? What happens if I do solve this problem? And then what obstacles are in my way as I solve the problem? That's what it is. And you, after a process of writing about a paragraph, answering every one of those, the subconscious clicks in, and all of a sudden you're just like on. Because one thing you can leverage about controlling your mind is knowing that when you remove uncertainty, things go smoother. The more uncertainty you remove from your minds and from all your plans, the more smoother things go. And so that's what that's about. So you need to write and identify what your problem is. The second thing you need to do is remove the obstacles. So as you identify your obstacles, you want to remove them. In my case, the obstacle was the damn game. Guess what? Bye. It was gone. I couldn't get it back. I gifted it to someone I loved. I can't get it back. Can't get it back. So that was very easy. So you remove whatever obstacles are in your way. In this case, sometimes it can be people. So you need to limit your time around people. Or specific places. You just need to identify those obstacles and avoid them. Straight up. Remove them if you can. So that's the second point there. And the third thing is abstain and replace. Now we know abstaining is the goal when you're trying to dopaminergically detox. Okay, we know abstinence is the key. However, a lot of people miss the point that what your behavior is a cycle. And so when you get to that part of your cycle again in your day and you skip that beat, it fucks you up homeostatically. So what you have to do is replace the behavior with something. You have to replace it. In my case, anytime I was going to sit and play my Nintendo DS, I would sit in front of my laptop with Fire Alpaca, the drawing program. I'd sit in front of that and scribble, and then I would watch a YouTube video about how to paint or draw, and then I'd try to do it over and over again. It became its own thing. I'd do that till I was tired of it, and then go chill and do whatever else I was going to do. But you want to abstain and replace. You got to replace. And what's great is the goal, the whole point of a dopamine detox, there's 2 points. The first point is to get your levels normally so you can enjoy more boring things, because that's the point. And you can, and it seems magical, but it's possible. You can begin to enjoy things that are boring. And then the second one is you need to detox from things that are so exciting so you can implement the things that may seem less exciting but are there for you in your like long-term journey. So that's the point. So you want to replace, and I think you should replace it with whatever it is, whatever skill or trade you're trying to get into. Replace it with that, or exercise or something. You have to replace it. Otherwise, you're going to sit around and you're just scratch and fiend, because the subconscious mind and your automatic programming is going to want you to get into some sort of a flow, and it's not going to be there because you removed whatever it was. So this is Nick Newman with the Conscienticon. Please, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is join the Patreon. And what's dope about the Patreon is the first 100 $3 tier subscribers will get a video on any topic made by me and posted to the Conscienticon permanently. We already got one video up there right now. We've got another one coming. And for every other patron that subscribes, we will be posting basically whatever wisdom they want to share with the world. Amazing. So, and another way you can help out is just by commenting, liking, and subscribing. So if you want to learn more occult wisdom, please check out the next episode of this series of how-tos. Thank you.